So if you're watching this, you're probably hearing Frisco's name constantly. It's like the city that everyone's recommending right now. And I get why. It checks a lot of the boxes. But Frisco's one of those places where the pros are super loud and the cons are a little bit quieter. Not because the cons are terrible, just because nobody talks about the trade-offs until you're already unpacked. So I'm gonna give you what I would tell my best friend if she called me and said, okay, Tiffany, be honest, is Frisco actually worth it? Frisco feels like a city that's built around convenience and real family life. It's kind of a place where you can wake up, do your routine, take your kids to the activities, grab a cup of coffee, go to dinner, hit a workout class, run errands, and still feel like you don't plan your whole day around driving forever. That's why people love it. It actually really does feel efficient. But I will also say this, it doesn't feel like a sleepy suburb either. It feels like a desirable city that happens to be built in a suburban way. And that matters because your expectation determines whether you love it or complain about it every single day. And this city is certainly not laid back. It is bustling. It is living large at this point. So let's start here. Why do people love Frisco? Frisco makes daily life just easy. And I don't mean that lazy way. I mean in a way, my time feels protected way. Like you don't constantly feel like you're spending your day in transit. And living in the field specifically, this is why I say I live where everything is. It's like Frisco is building this lifestyle bubble where you have access to so much more without actually leaving your area. And I know that may sound small to you, but when you're actually living it, it's huge. Because convenience is not just convenience. Convenience is energy, it's time, it's less stress. It's actually saying yes to dinner on a Tuesday night. Frisco is one of the most family-built cities I've ever experienced. Like this city understands how families live with all the parks and the trails and the sports, all the activities, the amount of schools we have. It's kid-friendly options. It's all stacked right on top of each other. So if you're raising kids, Frisco is one of those places where your weekends almost plan themselves. You don't have to figure out life as much because the city's just set up for it. And honestly, that's why so many families just stay. It just feels supportive. Another pro is that Frisco really always has something going on. Frisco's not boring ever. And I love that. There's always something happening, whether it's sports stuff, events, new places opening, people out and about. It gives the city this energy where you don't feel like you live in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we are 30 minutes from Dallas. We are a suburb. Now, I'm going to say it now, and I'll say it again later. This also contributes to traffic. But as far as do we have a life? Yes, you can stay in Frisco and still feel like you're living and never have to leave the city limits. I've lived in Dallas and the traffic was horrendous. So, putting them up against each other, Frisco's way better in traffic than Dallas is. So it's perspective. Frisco really has become a destination. This is one of the biggest changes I've watched over the last 5 years is Frisco used to feel like a place you lived. Now it's becoming more of a place people are going to drive to because we've got so many things building and opening up. And that shift of what's coming, these things aren't just random strip centers. They're not ugly and just out there for leases to take over. These are major projects that change how a city functions. And if you like having options and new experiences nearby, it's really exciting what Frisco's doing right now. And some things that surprised me, I'm not gonna lie, Frisco's really big and it's growing, it's busy, but I still found community here. And that was surprising because sometimes you think maybe you're gonna get lost in a city, but certain neighborhoods and pockets have real neighbor energy. Kids playing outside, people walking, events on the lawn, neighborhood groups, familiar faces. And that's not everywhere, but it exists more than people assume when they think master planned suburb. And personally, that's why Frisco really feels home to me because it feels familiar and friendly. So what's the trade-off in all of this development coming to Frisco? I mean, the biggest con is traffic. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to set an expectation. Frisco's popular, it's busy, it's still growing. And there are certain times where it feels like everyone's trying to run errands at the exact same time. I'm like, people go home and let me run my errands in peace. You've got school traffic, sports traffic, weekend traffic, event traffic, construction traffic, and sometimes it all stacks up. So if you move here expecting like quiet suburban roads, like, oh, Texas has all this land, so many long roads that we can drive down, you're gonna feel like, wait, what happened? This is the trade. You get convenience and amenities in a beautiful city, but you're sharing them with everyone else who wants that same convenience and those same amenities. Probably the thing that I hate most about Frisco, to be truthful, is Frisco. Nobody warns you until you live here how many freaking school zones there are. And I don't mean school district zoning. I mean the actual slow down, crawl, and don't even think about being late school zones. And it's because we have so many schools and they're literally everywhere, which means you can be driving to do the most normal errand and hit like 3 different school zones in one trip. And if you're new here, it can feel like, wait, why am I going 20 miles an hour again? Didn't I just do this 3 minutes ago? So just so you know, okay, I'm going to give you some numbers. We have 43 elementary schools, 43, 1 intermediate, which is 5th and 6th grade, 18 middle schools, and 12 high schools. And then we have 3 special program centers. So you can see why I would find myself in school zones all the time, twice a day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad about safety. Obviously, I want kids to be safe. It's just the daily reality. During school drop-off and pickup windows, your drive time can stretch for no reason other than you're just passing multiple campuses. When I drive to my gym, it takes me 10 minutes normally, okay? But when I drive in a school zone, it could take me 15 to 20 minutes because there's a certain light that gets backed up right by my neighborhood, and I could sit through that light 3 or 4 times, and that makes it 20-minute drive versus 15-minute drive. So yes, I do get frustrated. That whole Frisco is convenient because everything is close. It is true, but it's also true that your actual time on the road can feel longer because some of those slowdowns and some of those certain times of days. And here's the really funny part. You'll actually learn the Frisco parent timing. You'll learn what roads you avoid at certain times. You'll learn which intersections turn into freaking chaos. You'll learn which shortcut is absolutely not a shortcut at 7:40 a.m. So if you're relocating and you're used to a city with fewer schools and they're all spread out further, know this, Frisco's not like that, which is great, but it also means school zone life is part of your routine. It's one of those little daily things that doesn't show up on a brochure, but you will feel it the first week you live here, unless you move here during the summer, and then you'll just have to wait until August. Okay, we do hear a lot about the cost in Frisco. Frisco is not cheap, period. And it's not cheap because it's randomly expensive. It's expensive because people want Frisco. Families want it. Relocation clients want it. It has demand. So if your plan is, I'm moving to Texas because it's cheap, you might have a little bit of a moment when you start looking at Frisco. Now, for me personally, I don't feel like I overpaid. I feel like I paid for a lifestyle I actually use and long-term equity. But you have to be honest with yourself. Are you paying for convenience because you'll take advantage of that convenience? Or are you paying for convenience that you just want to look nice on paper? Because I participate in all that Frisco has to offer, and it's amazing. Now, one of the cons, at least to me, is some pockets really kind of have some status pressure, and I'm not going to pretend that they don't. This is the part people try to be polite about. There are parts of Frisco where the culture can feel high performance, high expectations, keeping up with the Joneses. Like everyone is always upgrading. Oh, you got this car, so I'll have to get this car. And then all of a sudden somebody's got a private jet. Everyone is very involved. Sports are intense. Schools are intense. And the social vibe can feel competitive in certain circles. Some people love that. They thrive in it. It feels motivating. Other people hate it. It feels like pressure and comparison. I'm not saying that's the whole city. I'm saying it exists in certain pockets. And if you're sensitive to that, you need to choose the right area and the right neighborhood vibe. Because Frisco isn't just one personality. There's actually a lot of different flavors here. I just talked to a dad at a dinner the other night, and they're very, very wealthy. And he said sometimes he feels like he's keeping up with the Joneses. And I think it's all about mindset and what you're plugging into in Frisco. There is another thing I'll say gently, but honestly. Some areas of Frisco can feel very master planned, very polished, very new. And sometimes that means it can feel like the same shopping center repeated over and over and over, and the same builder styles repeated and the same landscaping repeated. And that kind of drives me insane. I can help you find communities that don't do that. Now, personally, if you're someone who needs charm, older character, historical streets, mature trees, Frisco might not give you that as your default. Now, personally, I kind of like the clean and organization of it. I'm okay with design forward vibe. I just don't necessarily like it when all the houses look the same, and I can help you find neighborhoods that fit you better. But if you're coming from a city with old neighborhoods and character streets, you might feel like Frisco's a bit manufactured, and that's kind of just reality. This is what surprised me the most about Frisco. Frisco used to feel like one big suburb with a lot going on. Now it kind of feels like it's little mini cities all within the same city limits. Like you've got different zones that kind of behave differently. You've got areas that feel more family sports oriented, areas that feel more corporate, areas that feel more retail destination type, like the Star. You've got a downtown that's getting a real glow up right now with, I think, 70 million going into it. And then the Fields, which feels like Frisco stepping into a more walkable mixed use future because nothing else in Frisco is like the Fields. So when people ask, is Frisco worth it? I always want to ask, which Frisco are you talking about? Because your experience depends on where you live inside the city. And I just did a huge video on Frisco updates, but I'll give you kind of a Cliff Notes version of some of the things I'm looking forward to having in Frisco. And one of them is Grand Park. It is such a long-term project that we've been waiting for, and it's super exciting. The city is describing Grand Park as eventually spanning over 1,000 acres. And they already have public access areas like the big Blue Stem Trail on the future site. And what they've been saying is they're actually breaking ground this month. And after the first phase, they're going to release a phase every 2 to 3 years until it's completely finished. And it's going to take about 15 to 20 years to get there. It's that big of a project. But parks like these in a city, to give up 1,000 acres when they could have just put houses on there or more commercial, more traffic, they decided to leave it as a park because it pulls people together. It's walking trails, it's outdoor amphitheaters for live music or plays, it's dog parks, it's biking, picnics. It's a destination, and it really transforms a city and becomes a part of your routine. It becomes a part of your weekends, your let's go do something spot. And parks like this help a city feel more complete. Just like Central Park, which is actually going to be smaller than what Grand Park will be once it's fully built out. Central Park's about 800 acres, give or take, and Grand Park is going to be 1,000. So it's just unbelievable that Frisco is putting a park that huge smack dab in the middle of town. And now let's talk a little bit about downtown. I've always felt like downtown was lacking a little bit, but they just are putting $70-80 million into revamping it because they want gathering spaces. They want the we walk around downtown feeling. So Frisco's been investing in what's called the Rail District, and the city's redeveloped it. It's amazing. It's going to be walkable, and they're going to have tons of events down there. There's cute little boutiques and places to eat that have just been there forever. So it matters because it adds something Frisco hasn't always been known for, a central place that kind of feels like community and feels walkable. It's not ever been that way. And I feel like they're just now starting to say, we need to renew our downtown because it's lacking compared to some other downtowns. And that makes me happy because I love the historic nature of our downtown. Another area is called The Mix, and it's kind of a where people hang out shift. The Mix has been a big hole, literally a huge hole off the tollway that everybody keeps saying, what in the world is that hole and why is it still there? I feel like it's been there a decade, and they finally have what they're going to do. It's going to have a Whole Foods, and we've never had a Whole Foods in Frisco. I know that seems crazy because we're almost at 250,000 people, okay? And to not have a Whole Foods, I think that's crazy. But we're finally getting a Whole Foods, and it's a mixed use development. It's gonna have offices and parks and Whole Foods and walkability and picnic tables and just lots to do. And I love that because it's gonna be kind of like a lifestyle magnet. It's not gonna just be new stores. It's gonna change where people spend time, not only at night, but during the day with working hours, because it's going to have a lot of people being able to sit outside in the sun and walk to Whole Foods and walk to all the little shops. It's just going to be a really great little area to hang out in. Okay, the fields. I'm gonna get a little personal because living in the fields is like living in the next chapter of Frisco. It's fresh, it's urban, it's walkable. It's kind of like that twinkle light sitting out on a patio at night and having a glass of wine type of feeling. It's not just a neighborhood. You can feel that it's a part of a bigger plan. You're surrounded by development that's meant to kind of create a more complete walkable destination lifestyle. And that's honestly one of the biggest reasons I love living here. I knew that getting in before Fields West was built was going to create massive equity. And I love the thought that once Fields West is built, that I'll be able to walk over and grab a cup of coffee or go sit on a patio and have a margarita. They're going to be able to have outdoor concerts and walking under twinkle lights, all the restaurants and the retail. Guys, it's not even built yet. It's the first phase is being built right now, and it's 80% leased out already. It's going to be a huge destination for Frisco in general, and you won't feel the need to go to Dallas. I mean, you always can because Dallas has great stuff, but Frisco's really building out a city that you can stay within the city limits and get everything that you would need. So I just feel like they're putting a lot into this city, besides the fact that it's rated the second safest city in the nation by Forbes magazine. So there's all of these layers of why Frisco matters to me and why I want to live here long term, and why the last 5 years has really shown me that I made a really good decision. Now, why people love Frisco. Families love it because it supports their lifestyle. If you have kids, Frisco's one of those places where life feels structured in an actual good way. Your routine is supported. There's so many activities. There are so many options. It's really easy to be a family here. My entire family lives here in Frisco, and it's situated to where we get to see each other so much, at football games and at school activities and grandparents' days. It's a lot of fun. People relocating love it because it feels easy to plug into. If you're coming from out of state, Frisco feels predictable. It feels clean. It feels safe. It feels modern. It feels like you can build routine quickly. And when you're relocating, that matters more than people realize. People who like growth love it because Frisco is still becoming what it's going to be. Some people hate that growth, and it really stresses them out. The people that have lived here since like the early 2000s, they don't like the traffic, but they're comparing it to Farmville, Frisco, what it used to be like. And that's just not how it is anymore. Other people love it because it feels like a city moving forward. Frisco's not done. It's still becoming. And if you like watching a place evolve and you like being near what's new, Frisco really scratches that itch, and it's amazing. So here's the honest truth. I love living in Frisco, not because it's perfect. It's not perfect. It's busy, it's expensive, it has traffic. Some pockets can be super intense in those freaking school zones. But I love how easy my life can be here. I love that it's built for families. I love that it's built for safety. I love that there's always something to do. I love that I can access what I need without planning my entire day around driving to wherever I need to be. I used to drive to Dallas all the time, and now I'm like, ooh, Dallas is kind of far because everything's here. And I love living in the fields. I'm watching Frisco become more complete in real time. Big park projects, downtown investment, and new districts coming online all the time. You guys have to watch my Frisco update. I go through all of them. And I'm not here to convince you that Frisco is the best. I'm here to tell you what it truly is. So if you choose it, you're choosing it for the right reasons. There's other great cities around here. I'm just telling you about Frisco because it's where I live and I wanted you to know the honest truth. So summing it up, the best part of Frisco is that it's convenient, it's family forward, and it's packed with options. And it's getting more complete with projects like Grand Park and the downtown development, Fields West, and all the other little mini micro cities that are popping up all over Frisco. Okay, well, those are my thoughts on Frisco after being here for 5 years. I do love it in a real way, not in a nothing is wrong kind of way. I love it because it supports my lifestyle. It makes my days easier. And it's one of the few places where you can have that North Dallas convenience and still feel like the city is is investing in becoming more complete over time. If you're thinking about moving to Frisco or anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, tell me what you're most concerned about. I mean, be honest. Is it traffic? Is it cost? Is it crowds? School culture? Is it too busy? Let me know, because me and my team can help you find the perfect area in Dallas-Fort Worth that fits you and your family perfectly. So until the next video, we hope you have a great rest of your day.